Hello everybody, it's Sandy here from the Curtain Boutique. Welcome to my channel. On the bench today we have this beautiful ticking stripe. It's a very pale pink and it's a lovely cream in the background. Right, so I'm now going to work out my scallops for my Pelmet. The Pelmet is 120 centimetres wide and I've got a 13.5 return either side of that. So I'm going to, I've made my my template for each scallop and I've folded it in half, so you've got the sort of middle line as the half point, and I'm going to be positioning that on the fabric so that I can sort of like get them all kind of worked out along the width of the fabric. Okay, so I've turned the fabric over so that we've got the tops running this way and then this is the bottom. So I'm going to start laying the template on here and marking it out, and then I'm going to cut another piece of this which will go on the reverse. I'm not going to line it, I'm just going to line it in its own fabric so it will look much nicer. I've got the centre of this scallop lined up with the actual centre of the Pelmet. So that's our first one. So I will start to mark this with an invisible pen. So with this pencil I'm now going to mark out my template from the middle of the Pelmet. You can see where I've made the crease line, and I've also marked the actual middle of the Pelmet so we know that we're definitely in the middle here. And I'm just going to go round the template with the pencil and this will be obviously the stitch line. So I shall carry on and continue along the Pelmet to the left and then to the right, making sure I've got sort of a half scallop on each end, each of the returns of the Pelmet. So I get to the end and I'm allowing 14 centimetres for the returns, and now I'm just going to trim away any excess face fabric at the bottom, just so I don't have so much to, you know, take to the machine. But I'm allowing a good 1.5 inches all the way along the bottom. So I'm going to be pulling the ticking stripe down. I need to cut my lining piece, which will obviously be the ticking stripe. It looks so much nicer when you line things in the same fabric. It just looks so professional. I'm going to make sure I'm running it the right way up. We've got an arrow there like on the selvage, and make sure that they're running the same way. I'm also going to make sure my stripes are nicely lined up before I pin everything in, so that, you know, when we do the stitch line we turn it inside out, we've got the stripes running the right way. So once I've got this pinned in, I will then get some interlining and lay this on top of the interlining and get the interlining literally on the underside like I'm doing here. Now I haven't pinned the interlining to this, I've just literally pinned the two pieces together, the back and the front. Now once I finish cutting this piece of interlining away, I will then re-pin, picking up the interlining, so that I will be going through all of the layers when I start doing my sewing along the line that I've made with my dressmaker's pencil. Now once I've sewn along this line, I will then obviously cut away some of the bulk along just under the seam line so that everything sits really nicely at the bottom. Okay, so I have now pinned all the way along with the 3 layers, and I'm now going to go along this line with my machine and start sewing along the bottom. Right, I'm doing this quite slowly so you can see, but basically I'm keeping my foot in line with my line already that I've made, my sewing line. And I'm just going along, making sure I keep that exactly along the line. It's a bit tricky when I get to this bit because I'm obviously going to have to put my hand over. Right, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to lift the presser foot up. I'm going to turn the Pelmet around so that I've got the needle is right in the corner of where the actual scallop goes up. So I'm just going to turn that round, press the presser footer down again, and then press the on button and carry on what I was doing before. And just keep following that line. Do it very slowly so that you don't go off the line. And I'll show you another one to just keep it straight and steady. And get to the corner there. Press the foot up, swivel so that it's facing the right way. I think I might have gone a little bit too far actually. Just try and position that back. I can always unpick those little bits. I'm going to go back, down and then back again, just so that I'm not going to lose any bits when I unpick the stitches I've made too many of. So I'm just going to carry on around here and then finish at the selvage there. Okay, so I'm now going to take these pins out of the bottom. So now that I've taken the pins out, I'm going to be sorting out the layers here so that we can lose some of the bulk. And I will be snipping into each little triangle where it goes up so that the fabric will have more of a manoeuvre. So this is what I've done here. I've taken away a lot of the bulk, mainly the interlining, and left a little bit of the face, but the interlining all has to go literally right up to the sew line. Okay, so I've laid the Pelmet down and put all the little scallops in, making sure that the seam is right on the very end, but not that you can see it. Although if you did see it, you can just see that it continues because I positioned the 2 stripes, horizontally. And this is the return, so it will go around the corner like that. So now I've got to finish off the sides and the top. I'm going to position Velcro at the very top here, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to put it on here, just that side, turn it over, and then slip stitch it at the back so that you don't see any Velcro. This is what you call a kind of relaxed, sorry, you can't really see it because of this beautiful sunshine, but this is what you call a really, really lovely relaxed type Pelmet. So it's not got any stiffness in it. It's just lovely and soft. It's got the interlining to give it the stability, but it's just really lovely and soft and just relaxed looking. So it's perfect for a nursery, which is what this is for. I'm doing some lovely pale pink curtains in the pink of this, and then a Roman blind. So I shall show you when I do the curtains next. That'll be our next project. Okay, so I've done the sides, and I'm now going to, well, I'm doing the sides at the moment. I've sort of like measured across to make sure we've got 120, and this pin here has to be in line with this one down here, which I've just taken out. So I'm going to tuck that under, because this one is tucked under just before this stripe. So I'm going to tuck it there, and then just finger press it very gently for a minute, so that I know that's where my turn-in is going to be for the finished width. And then I'm going to take the pins out and get the iron and give it a press. And this is the reverse. This is the reverse side of the Pelmet. So I'm now going to tuck this one in so that it's in line with this one. So make sure you tuck the bit at the bottom in, because that bit's going to be well, it will be seen, but we've got to tuck it in so that we're not going to see it, and slip stitch it. So we'll sort of tuck it up a little bit like that, and then we will then have a tiny bit showing just at the bottom there, as you can see here. So lift it up a little bit so you can see. So it's there. So you'll be slip stitching around here and all the way up here for your side. So I'll just continue to bring this side in, following the line, just finger pressing it gently, and then once you've got it finger pressed, get your iron and give that a press. Now this is a lovely fabric to work with. It's 100% cotton, so it really is a joy. And it's a beautiful, beautiful fabric. So I would thoroughly recommend it. It comes in lots of different colours, and you can do a blue for a boy, or you could do a pink for a boy. I mean, you know, who says you can't do pink for boys? It's really entirely up to you and what your little one likes. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through here and make sure everything is nice and flat and looking neat, and then I shall pin along here where it needs slip stitching, and I will pin there right in the corner. Make sure that when you're on the reverse, always make sure you can see a tiny bit of the front, because then you know when you're at the front you're not going to see anything on the back. You know that it's going to pass the front a tiny bit so that it won't be seen. So I do my pins perpendicular, but of course you can do yours how you like, and make sure it's nice and flat, and you pull any creases or wrinkles out as you go. And then once we've done this, we're going to slip stitch like I said this. I'll probably only slip stitch just to here for now while I sort out my Velcro at the top. So I'll get on with that now, and then I shall show you how I do the Velcro. Okay, so I've just laid the Velcro along my pins, so it's not very easy to see with this lovely sunlight. Yeah, that's better. So what I'm doing is I'm pinning as I go, and then I'm going to fill it with quite a few pins to hold that in place, so that when it obviously goes in, it will be in line with all the pins, sort of thing there. So what will happen is I'll just sew it, just one layer. Okay, I've now put the Velcro in and we've turned the Pelmet over so the wrong side is facing up, and I'm now going to pull back the wrong side. Obviously this is the lining side, and then also the layer of the interlining, which is obviously in the middle, and then we have the piece that is that has the Velcro, which I'm now pulling back like you can see here. And I'm going to make sure that everything is positioned so that there's as much of a gap between the Velcro and the top all the way along. It's all been measured so that it's 30 centimetres from the top of the Velcro to the bottom of the scallop. So here is the end that I'm now going to show you what I'm going to do. I will tuck this under. And I'm just trying to work out which is the best way to do this. But obviously I will bring the interlining and the lining up to the crease mark or up to the top of the Velcro, cut that away, and then I will turn under a little piece of the main fabric, which I'm doing here. And then you will see the stripes match up because the stripe fabric will be on the reverse, so you will just see the Velcro and then the stripes lining up really nicely, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so now that everything is trimmed up to the top of the Velcro, I am pinning it all in place. Obviously I'm making sure I keep the lines vertical together so they match up, which gives it a really nice professional look. But I shall carry on and just carry on pinning it in. Okay, so we're on the last roll. We are now, well, I've pinned all the way along and made sure I line up all my my little stripes, and I'm just literally tidying the end, pinning it in place, and then I'm going to literally slip stitch all the way along the side and all the way along the top underneath the Velcro. Okay, so everything is all done and sewn in place and is looking beautiful. All the sides are sewn by hand and all the top is slip stitched and looking lovely and lined up. So I'm very happy with that. We did ask the client if she would like some pom-poms to go along the bottom, which I thought would have been quite nice. Showing you in this little picture here that I took. I just pinned them behind just to show her, but she wasn't keen. Anyway, that's the end of part one. Please look out for part two. It should come probably Wednesday or Thursday. This should include the Pelmet board, which I'm going to cover, make look really beautiful, and show you how to put the Velcro on to marry up with the Pelmet, and we're going to insert a track for the curtains. In the meantime, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and press the bell button so that you receive all my videos, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.